Here's a culture tip that could save your career or destroy it. In the Netherlands, telling a colleague your presentation was confusing and poorly organised is helpful feedback. In Thailand, saying that would humiliate them publicly and potentially end your working relationship. Welcome to the criticism code, where honesty can be valued or devastating, depending on cultural context.
Let's start with Dutch feedback culture, because they've elevated honesty to a cultural virtue that shocks most other countries.
How direct are we talking?
Extremely. In Dutch culture, if something isn't working, you say so directly. This report needs improvement. Your idea won't work because that approach is inefficient. No softening, no compliment sandwich, just honest assessment.
And that's considered helpful?
Very helpful. Dutch people see direct feedback as respect. If they don't tell you the truth, how can you improve? Sugarcoating criticism wastes time and prevents growth. Honesty is kindness.
So they're not being rude, they're trying to help.
Exactly. To Dutch people, indirect feedback is actually ruder because it's dishonest. If you think someone's work is poor, but you say, it's interesting, you've lied to them and prevented them from improving.
How does this play out in actual workplace situations?
In meetings, Dutch colleagues will openly critique ideas. That's not going to work. I disagree with your analysis. This approach has problems. They're critiquing the work, not the person, and they expect you to defend your position or accept the feedback.
So there's no face-saving component?
Not really. There's an Australian woman, Kate, who joined a Dutch tech company in Amsterdam. Her first week, in a team meeting, a colleague said, "Kate, your proposal doesn't address the core issue at all. Here's what you missed."
That must have stung.
She was mortified. In Australia, you'd soften that. That's an interesting approach, and maybe we could also consider... But her Dutch colleague wasn't trying to embarrass her. He was giving her useful feedback so she could revise her proposal.
How generous of him.
To Dutch people, it actually is generous. He took time to identify problems and explain them. The alternative, letting her continue with a flawed proposal, would be cruel.
Now, Thailand has developed perhaps the most elaborate indirect feedback system I've encountered.
How indirect?
In Thai culture, directly criticizing someone causes them to lose face, which is a serious offense. Feedback must be extremely subtle, often delivered through intermediaries, and always preserving the other person's dignity.
So you never tell someone they're wrong?
Not directly. If someone makes a mistake, you might say, "This is very good," and perhaps one small adjustment could make it even better. Then you hint at the problem without stating it explicitly.
That seems inefficient.
To Western cultures, yes. But Thai culture prioritizes harmony and face-saving over speed. Humiliating someone by direct criticism destroys the relationship, making all future work impossible. Better to give subtle feedback that preserves the relationship.
What if the problem is serious and needs fixing immediately?
You'd likely speak to their manager privately or ask a senior person to deliver the feedback, or use very elaborate indirect language. There's a Thai woman, Suda, who worked with an American team remotely. Her American manager kept giving her direct feedback. "This needs to be redone. That's not right."
She was offended?
Deeply. To Suda, her manager was being aggressive and disrespectful. She felt humiliated, even though the American thought he was just being efficient and clear.
And he probably had no idea she was upset.
None. He thought they had a good working relationship. She was looking for other jobs because she couldn't handle his rudeness.
So where do other cultures fall on this direct versus indirect feedback spectrum?
Australian feedback is interesting. Very direct compared to most Asian cultures, but softer than Dutch. Australians will tell you what's wrong, but usually with humour or mateship language to soften the blow.
How does that work?
Something like, "Mate, that presentation went a bit sideways, didn't it? Let's fix it up." It's honest about the problem, but delivered in a friendly, "we're in this together" way.
Korean feedback culture is complex because of hierarchy, isn't it?
Very. In Korea, a senior person can give relatively direct feedback to a junior person, but juniors must be extremely indirect when pointing out problems to seniors. The power dynamic determines how direct you can be.
American feedback culture is schizophrenic.
How so?
We invented the compliment sandwich. Positive comment, then criticism, then another positive. Great effort, but this completely misses the point. But I love your enthusiasm. It's dishonest enough to annoy Dutch people and still direct enough to offend Thais.
The worst of both worlds.
Exactly. We're trying to be nice by softening criticism, but we're still being direct enough to cause discomfort. Neither truly direct nor truly indirect.
What about Moroccan feedback culture?
More indirect, with strong face-saving elements. Direct criticism is avoided, especially in public. Feedback happens privately, subtly, with emphasis on preserving dignity.
Here's what's really at stake with these feedback differences. It's about what cultures believe relationships and truth are for.
Dutch culture believes relationships are strong enough to handle truth. If your relationship can't withstand honest feedback, it's not a real relationship. Truth builds trust.
Thai culture believes relationships are fragile and must be protected. Truth can damage relationships, so truth must be delivered carefully. Harmony enables trust.
And neither is wrong. They're just different models of how relationships work and what makes them strong.
The cultural misunderstandings in international teams must be constant.
They're everywhere. Dutch people think their Thai colleagues are being dishonest or passive-aggressive by not stating problems clearly. Thai people think Dutch colleagues are bullies who don't respect others.
And Americans confuse everyone by trying to do both badly.
We really do. We're not honest enough for Dutch culture and way too direct for Thai culture.
So what's the actual solution?
Explicit meta-conversations about feedback. When forming international teams, discuss how do we give critical feedback? What's helpful versus hurtful? What's considered direct versus indirect?
And learn the other culture's feedback language. If you're Dutch working with Thais, add layers of softening. If you're Thai working with Dutch, understand that their directness isn't personal attack.
Or just accept that someone will always be offended by how you communicate.
That's probably most realistic. You can't be simultaneously Dutch direct and Thai indirect. You have to choose which culture's communication style you're prioritizing.
The feedback method isn't really about information. It's about relationship models.
Whether you're brutally honest or elaborately indirect reveals whether your culture sees relationships as strengthened by truth or threatened by it.
And whether that won't work is helpful feedback or workplace aggression.
Welcome to International Feedback, where honesty itself requires cultural translation.
Thanks for watching this exploration of feedback cultures across countries. If you've ever been confused about how to give criticism, now you know why.
Next episode tackles workplace power dynamics, the power protocol. Because if feedback is sensitive, challenging authority is even more fraught. In Pakistan, questioning your boss's decision can end your career. In Sweden, not debating with leadership suggests you're not engaged. Same behavior, opposite interpretations.
Subscribe for new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. And if you've experienced cross-cultural feedback disasters, share your story in the comments.
We love hearing your workplace communication experiences.
Until next time, may your criticism be culturally calibrated.
And may your honesty be appropriately indirect or direct.